Hi, I'm Diane Allen, and welcome to the first show of This Is Me. This Is Me is dedicated to the 50 plus woman, our uniqueness, style, gifts, and talents. On the show, we hope to uplift, inform, and inspire, and share and discuss topics of interest that are really important to the 50 plus woman. We want to hear from you, so please send us any issues and topics that you would like for us to discuss on the show. On today's show, we'll be talking about the 50 plus woman. And please send us your feedback and your comments. We love to hear from you, and our contact information is at the bottom of the screen. On today's show, I have my guests who have graciously agreed to appear and share with me their experience as the 50 plus woman. And I want to say welcome. And that we have Rosemary, and to Rosemary on her is Theresa. And again, I want to say thank you for coming on the show. And just, we just want to talk and maybe just share a little bit with our audience, your experience as a 50 plus woman. And I know as a 50 plus woman, there's many things that, we transition and go through. And at times it seems like you're on this roller coaster, and it's almost like to me, a second adolescent stage, because the hormones and everything is, it's crazy. But there's some good as well. It's some exciting things about being a 50 plus woman. So my first question to both of you would be, what do you think is the most exciting thing about being a 50 plus woman? And I'm going to start with Rosemary.
Well, and I thank you for including me, Diane. And of course, I'd be 50 plus, but I think, well, at this stage of the game, I'm an empty nester. And so that's kind of nice. My husband and I can go off, went off to a train trip, a local train trip to go see the leaves changing, and we could just do things in the middle of the week that we couldn't now that he retired and I'm retired basically. So there's certain freedom of that. You don't have to crowd into places on Friday, Saturday when all the folks are trying to get in at the same time and everything, so there's a little bit of freedom there too. So.
Yes, there is definitely freedom. You're past the child rearing stage, and and some of us have maybe have retired. So like you say, you have that freedom, to explore and go places and do things that maybe you didn't have when you were child rearing, as well as having a career and job. So yes, there is certain freedom there. And Theresa, what do you feel is an exciting part?
Piggyback on what Rosemary said. There's a lot more freedom. I think the best part of being this age right now, I'm not worried about impressing anybody.
That's true.
I can do what I want,
Yes, absolutely.
how I want. My children are grown. I can do what I want, and I don't have to worry about, well, am I doing this right? Because everything's new, and I don't worry so much about whether it's right or wrong. I'm doing it, so that's exciting for me.
Yeah, it's like a me time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I'm doing the things that I would want
The
to
things
do.
that excite me, that I'm interested in. I don't have to worry about juggling. Well, I need to take care of the kids, and I need to do this, and I need to do stuff for me that feeds my soul.
Yes.
So if I decide I want to go take a class, I can go take a class.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
If I decide I don't want to do anything, don't have to.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel good, because when I was raising kids, it was, all about them.
Yes.
Making sure they had what they needed, and I sort of put me and my interests on the back burner to make sure they got what they needed. And now it's like, okay, y'all grown, and I can do all those things that I wanted to do for me, and no guilt.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the most exciting things about being a 50 plus woman, because you can now those interests and things that you wanted to do and maybe didn't have the time and sometimes the money to do.
Yeah.
Maybe at this stage you can do those things.
Right.
And I think that's really great.
Plus, you don't have to worry about you don't have as much anxiety then about like, well, career-wise, you know,
Mhm.
doing this, or, you know, you're going the right path that way, and then trying to juggle the family things and stuff like that, all that, and then
Yes.
running the household, and,
Mhm.
you know, or maybe, you know, doing things with, you know, outside activities and stuff, you know, that, you know, what might be more obligatory and stuff, you know, but, PTOs and things like that, but, you know, it's a little bit, like you say, me time or that, but, you know, that type of thing too, but, the expectations, you don't have that burden of all the expectations, you know, so
Yes.
it's, you know, freeing.
Mhm. And then, you know, I find that, you know, me and my husband have more time to be together.
Right,
You
right,
know, wherein he's working, I'm working, you got the children, and,
Right,
you
right.
know,
Yep.
but now, you know, you can see each other more,
right,
you know, and you have more time to do things together.
right,
So
Yeah.
that is really
Yeah.
sort of like another plus,
Right.
you know. that-
Well, many women always ask like, well, how is it having your husband home now? You know, where, you know, well, I said, I keep him busy. Yeah, he said, there's a lot of, you know, the to-do list, you know, bum, 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 you know. And so, you know, but there, you know, there's, you know, we try to get our space,
Right,
you know,
right.
and then plan things too, you know.
Exactly.
So it's,
You
so
know,
it's-
because
yeah.
you have your interests and he has his interests,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So there's the you go this way and still you're coming back together.
Right,
You
right,
know.
yeah.
So
He hasn't learned to cook yet, but I'm working on it. He's okay. He doesn't mean pancake, but otherwise, aside from that.
See, I have almost the opposite. My husband has always cooked.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And
Yeah.
I'm spoiled, so they refer to
Oh.
me as the bear. I come home after doing what I'm doing and just like looking around, I don't smell anything. It's like, I have it ready in a minute. He's a very good cook.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm spoiled.
Yeah, that's
And-
nice.
But he's home, I'm out and about. I have a
Yeah.
lot of outside interests and
Yeah, yeah,
activities.
right.
And he's home.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, we come, but we can have a decent conversation about what's going on in the world and
Right, right.
whatever interests us,
Right,
you know.
Right, yeah.
So it's, sometimes he's underfoot,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
so, but it is what it is. But it's a lot more interesting. It's almost like we were not quite newlyweds again.
yeah.
Because we're empty nesters
Right,
and
right.
the kids are gone
Yes.
and we're rediscovering some things about each other.
Exactly.
It's like,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
that's who you are.
It is like a
Yeah.
second honeymoon, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
because I think because you spending a little bit more quality time
Time.
together, you know, so you do have that time, to, you know, to really enjoy one another,
Yeah.
you know. So I think it is another, you know, honeymoon
Yeah.
period, you know. Now my next question is, what are the 3 most important issues that you think you're facing as a 50-plus woman? The 3 most important issues facing you as a 50-plus woman. What are your 3 important issues?
Well, it's, one, I would say, cleaning out the house. I mean, I tend to be you know, like there's the waxing and waning. In the waxing stage of the moon, you know, like I'm accumulating.
Oh, okay.
And then my son said, Mom, anything happens to you and Dad, you know, with just dumpster. And I said, no, no. You know, as Earth Mother, I have to find a place for everything, you know. And so I'm slowly, I mean, it's really almost like an earthworm crawl, getting rid of things, just and finding, you know, putting stuff, you know. So even I had my husband even say, okay, you know, you got a couple closets full of clothes, you know, and for 30, 40 years, you know, you're going to still wear them, you know, get rid of them, say, do the Marie Kondo, do I love it, do I not love it, you know, like look at it and say, you know, like, you know, go through your stuff too, not, it's because he's always after me, like, you know, getting rid of that, you know, but I do have, you know, a bedroom that's loaded with stuff in a garage. We haven't never gotten a car in, so I know I'm telling all. So, but that would be one.
So
You know,
letting go.
getting rid of stuff,
Yeah,
trying to
letting-
clear out. You know, because I took my mother's, some of her things, and then he took stuff from his mother, and we've got all the stuff in the garage, and you know, so that. And then the second thing is the big facing is that there's been a few of my friends have lost their husbands, and you know, like facing mortality, or people, you know, somebody once said, well, nature has a, once you're past the procreation stage, nature has no use for you, and they try to get rid of you. And I thought, gee, that's something, you know, like when you have this ache of pain, that pain, you know, cancer, this, that, you know, like getting to the stage where friends are, you know, getting cancer or heart attacks or whatever, various things, and you start thinking, ooh, I better speed up my things that I need to be doing and taking care of business. The third I can't really think of now, just, little bucket list or something of travel that I always like to do in that, but also to, in that, like, if I can get rid of the stuff, I may have more time to, like, maybe tutor or do something, more meaningful, to, I'm involved in my church, but I feel I'd like to be one-on-one or helping a child or something like that. I haven't gotten to that stage yet, because this stuff hangs over me, and it's really, anyway.
Teresa?
I'm just listening, I'm just letting go of things, I've been accused of being a hoarder.
Oh, yes. You are now my friend now.
But yeah, letting go of things,
we can work with each other to get rid of them.
having time enough to do the thing. I like the garden, I have so many interests, but time enough to do all the things that I want to do, and it's not even so much that it's a bucket list. Then the third thing that's most important to me is holding on to traditions. And in the world that we live in now, there's so much, we think about the good old bad days of however it goes. But there were some things that were very good about how things used to be and how things were done. I'm finding the world isn't very tolerant of a lot of things. And I think I'm falling into that too. It's like, polite manners, they all went bye-bye, and I was like, that bugs me. That's one of my biggest challenges, is just to remember that it's not my place to raise everybody again, but they don't seem to want to remember just the common courtesies. And so between those three things, letting go, finding time enough, and just, practicing a little more tolerance, I don't understand, but those three.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now this is my third question, and it would be, what are you looking forward to at this stage in life? What are you looking forward to?
Being able to sit on the beach whenever I want. I have always been one of those people, and it's not enough to have a vacation. I want to be able to sit on the beach for as long as I want, and then go away and come back. Just that lifestyle. I always had a thing for the ocean, and it didn't matter what time of year it was. Summer's best, but I could sit by the ocean this time of year and be perfect. I need that ocean breeze, that salt, and just, I don't know. But that's very important to me, just to be able to do that. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
That it feeds your soul just to be calm.
To come and go as you please.
Yeah.
Your time.
Yep.
When you want to do it, if you want to do it, how you want to do it,
I still have lots of interest in all kinds of things, but when I want to go somewhere to rejuvenate and recharge, that's where I want to be.
All right.
And that's interesting, because if you're going to the beach, because you probably won't get too much of a cell phone or internet connection there, so maybe
turn off.
Turn off. So I think looking forward, I would love to maybe just go to a cabin, because I have these books in the library, and I think, I've been meaning to read that. I want to read that, and all that. I enjoy history and world philosophy, and I'm thinking, I could just curl up and read this, but I'll tell you, it's even now. Technology just, you can just say, well, I'm just going to check my email, and then all of a sudden, 40 minutes later, boom, you're into this vortex.
Being bombarded with this.
Bombarded, and I think nostalgically back to my parents. I said, gee, they only had, I was there too, 3 channels, and they didn't get the amount of junk mail that I get. You donate to a few organizations, and your name is like sold all over, and of course I have to look at everything, and just so I'm thinking, this is wild, the inundation, with I'm not one of the people that go, I don't look at things on my phone, I haven't hooked up my phone, so, with the email, but everybody has their face in the phone.
That's
You
true.
go into Starbucks, you go to the place, everyone's like this,
Yeah.
no one's looking around, or,
That's-
hey, how's it going? Or there's
Right,
not, the
right.
community isn't there, it's there electronically, mentally, like on some sort of sphere, but it's not, that's sort of strange. I mean, I try to make contact with people sometimes when I'm walking in a neighborhood or something. Hey, how's it going? And all that, but people have their phones on, and then
Very
they
true.
might like not even look up sometimes. So that's
Check out, you're
yeah.
not connected.
Although I'm
Yeah,
saying I want to go
right.
off somewhere and read
Right.
books, so but maybe that's solitary too. But
Yeah.
a little bit more connection of things,
Yeah,
Yeah.
real connection.
Yeah, real
you know.
real connection.
And it is a shame that we've lost that,
Uh-huh.
true communication,
Yeah.
The only way you can contact people is you gotta, is through electronics nowadays, and that's sad, And sometimes I just want to hear a voice,
Right.
I don't want to see a text. Sometimes I want to hear a person's voice,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Right.
it's like you have to go with what technology has given us.
Right.
And because sometimes you call people, they don't call you back, but if you text them, they'll text you back.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword. But, just the other day, a college friend of mine who I hadn't talked to in forever sent me a text. And as I'm reading it, actually, it wasn't a text. What happened was she sent me, she called me, left a voicemail, but it transcribed itself. So I'm listening to it as I'm reading it, and just hearing her voice. And I texted her right back. I said, and you won't believe what kind of sunshine I just received, just hearing your voice again. And got on the phone with her, and we had a 40-minute conversation in the middle of her work day, just catching up.
Yeah.
And it was like, so technology can be good and bad.
Yes.
But I don't know. But like you said, everybody's like this.
Mhm.
So the common courtesies, the little niceties,
Yeah.
sort of go by the wayside.
Mhm.
And you just want somebody to, as you're walking down the street, just acknowledge your presence.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So we went off the sidetrack a little bit with the
Yeah.
technology instead of what we're looking forward to. But on the other hand, that's part of it. Maybe like you say on the beach, it's technology free.
Free, yeah.
Taking a walk in the woods without having the headphones on. You can. I mean, if it's maybe beautiful music or something. But just escaping that, going for walks or that type of a thing.
Just hearing your own thoughts.
Yeah.
In your head without the outside noise.
Mhm.
You need that. It's like downtime.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can hear what's going on in your head instead of stuff coming in from the outside. Sometimes just quiet.
Mhm.
It's not even stuff coming in from the outside or the voices in your head. Just quiet, because we don't get that.
Mhm.
No.
Something's
Yeah,
always going
Yeah,
on.
bombarded with something,
leaf
some
blowers or
gadget,
something.
somebody's texting me, somebody I gotta answer an email or
Yeah.
it's something,
Yeah.
So I think for me, I'm looking forward, as like Teresa said, to do what I want when I want, and I think that's to me is a wonderful place to be,
Yeah. Plus, there's you get all these benefits, discounts and stuff like that. You get. I mean, not that I'm going to fast food that often, but I'll ask at Wendy's. I said, "Oh, I understand you have I get a free soda, senior discount kind of thing, I'll order that, because you don't need the big meals anymore. I'll say I'll get the children's fries, I'll get the little dollar, and then I do that maybe once a month. I try not to have all the red meat and all those fat calories and stuff like that. But when I saw the gal at the counter, she goes, I already gave it to you. It's like, what? Okay.
There are some benefits of being a 50 plus.
But
There are some
Yeah,
benefits of being 50 plus.
Dunkin' Donuts is supposed to have some discounts too, but I don't go in and buy donuts, so that I'm not worried
I
about
do
those.
like my coffee. So,
Yeah, right. Okay,
every once in
yeah.
a while I'll get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
it's SEPTA too. When you turn 65, you go in. You can go in for
Okay.
free now on SEPTA.
Yeah,
That's great.
really?
I'm zooming into the city more often. You know. That's
See?
great. Yeah.
Because I don't like driving to the city.
Yeah, right. So that's
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, either one.
And just
Yeah,
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be interesting.
yeah.
I'm not quite
Even
there
just
yet.
going down for lunch down in it's crowded though at lunchtime, but Reading Terminal, you know.
Mhm.
So that's kind
Yeah,
of fun.
but
Or
at this age, you
Chinatown.
don't have any place that you need to be, so you can
Yeah,
wait.
any of that. Yeah,
You know?
you can go later after the lunch crowd. You know?
Well, I want to thank you for answering the questions, and thank you again for being here and on the show.
Enjoy it.
And I want to thank all my viewers for listening in. And hopefully, we have said something to spark your interests. And we want to hear from you. And please give us your comments on today's show. Next week, we're going to be taking a look at fitness and health and wellness for the 50 plus woman. Without a healthy body, it's really hard for us to move forward. So next week, we will be talking about fitness, wellness, and also nutritional eating. But until then, this is Diane Allen, and this is me.